Hey folks, and welcome back. So, been a few months since the last narrated video, and the reason for that is, oh my god, Warlord sucks. It's just so bad at the minute, it really is. The current state of the game is probably the worst and the most boring time I've had in World of Warcraft in the 6 years I've been playing. And the current state of the game is, like I said, it's the worst I've seen the game in. The state of the game at the minute is just really, really poor. The last video I did, where there was narration, was a review at that point of Warlords. And it was at that point piss poor. But at that point 6.1 was on the horizon and was still to come. However, 6.1 was lackluster as hell. There was no real content there, although some of the additions were good that it did bring. Primary one for me, of course, being Blood Elf Polywoods, the new Blood Elf models. They did another fantastic job of these. I have to give the art department props here, because they really knocked it out of the park again, like they have with the rest of the models. The new Blood Elf models, both male and female, especially the males, they really did do a great job on them. I was worried during PTR for my own character, because the face it was replaced with wasn't really the greatest, but once it went live it changed and it was superb. The other big thing was the heirloom tab. For someone that's sort of semi-starting over on another server and leveling lobies, the heirloom tab has been a massive godsend. It's just so easy and quick to roll a new character and just completely gear it up in heirloom gear. And of course the other good thing is if you have enough heirlooms, you get the heirloom bike, which is the chauffeured mecha chopper or whatever. Again, another godsend for lobies. It's usable by level 1s and it increases speed to about 160%. Something like that anyway. It makes leveling a lot quicker, because a lot of leveling grind at low level is just basically run all over the place, getting from A to B, and this cuts down on that quite a lot. The other major, well, I say major, but the other major addition to in 6.1 was, of course, the likes of the selfie camera. Meh. I'm not a big fan of selfies, either in real life or in game. I mean, obviously it's popular because I've seen loads of people using it on Twitter, which is of course another addition. So yeah, I mean, people are loving the selfie camera, so obviously that's a novelty and it will wear off eventually. And of course the other feature brought in with 6.1 was the Twitter integration, which allows you to set up your connection to Twitter in-game and tweet screenshots and achievements from in-game. Again, not something I'm using at the minute. So as I pointed out on the website quite a few months ago, by the time 6.2 rolls around, it's gonna be round about just short of 2 years with only one patch of content, which was the actual launch of Warlords itself. From just after the Siege of Orgrimmar, right through the launch of Warlords, right through 6.1 and into 6.2. By the time 6.2 launches, round about June, July, August time, it will be nearly 2 years with that one content patch. Just let that sink in for a minute. Nearly 2 years. 2 years with one patch carrying new content. That's ridiculous. It's poor. That's why the game is in the state it is at the minute. And I feel sorry for all the subscribers who allegedly, and I use that term meaningfully, who allegedly came back on launch night. And whilst the initial leveling experience in Warlords was great, it was the most varied it has ever been, going back on alts and redoing the same content and seeing behind the curtain as such, it starts to fall apart quite quickly. And becomes very, very repetitive, more so than any previous expansion, which is weird, because at the minute I'm leveling my third character to 100, my monk, because I've already done my hunter, and it's just really... it's painful. But endgame's even worse at the moment. The only thing there is to do is raid. That's it. I feel sorry for all the non-raiders out there who are stuck with an expansion that's giving them fuck all. It really is. It's giving them absolutely nothing to do. Yes, there's the garrison minigame, and I use mini in the loosest sense possible, because at the moment garrisons are, I feel, responsible for a lot of the disconnect it's currently experienced in the game. A lot of people are just hermiting themselves in their garrisons, and they're just squirreled away in there. And the world's empty. It's just devoid of people. This is an expansion where still flying hasn't been enabled. So people are having to travel by foot or by flight master all over the place. But people aren't. They're just not bothering, because it takes them so long to get from A to B. And they'd rather just sit in their garrison and do what exactly? Idle. Sit and listen to trade chat. Do fuck all. Sit there doing nothing. I went over a lot of this in a big mega post I made on the website. So if you want to see my full in great detail thoughts about what is wrong with the expansion. I've linked it in the description. Go have a read of that, because it goes over quite a lot of what I feel is actually very, very wrong with the expansion at the moment. So that aside, I have, instead of playing as much World of Warcraft as I usually would have done, I never thought I'd say, after a year of Siege of Orgrimmar, that I would be missing Pandaria. I loved Pandaria, it was great, but it really was starting to outstay its welcome by the time Warlords actually got around to launching. But at the moment, there's nothing there really for to do at endgame, and it's just boring as hell. So with that being the case, I have instead taken to toning down my game time in Azeroth Draenor in World of Warcraft, and instead I'm playing a lot of other games, so you'll probably see quite a few videos featuring other games. I made this promise ages ago in the channel trailer, which again I'll link below for you to see, but I made the promise that I would feature a lot of other games, and I never did really do that because I was concentrating so hard on World of Warcraft content. So now I'm playing a lot of other games, particularly one game which I was really looking forward to coming out, and that was Pillars of Eternity. Now, if you've seen the last video, the first 30 minutes I went through the first 30 minutes, obviously, of Pillars of Eternity and showed you what the game was like and how it started. I'm also playing a lot of other games like Dragon Age Inquisition, Guild Wars 2, City Skylines, Elite Dangerous, Diablo 3 and Reaper Souls, which I picked up recently, and I'm playing Crusader there. Also picked up StarCraft 2, the original, and Heart of the Swarm, and also picked up Watch Dogs, fairly dirt cheap from G2A for literally about £3. I've also got the Heroes of the Storm beta, but I'm not really playing it because I'm not really a MOBA / lane pusher player. I've got League of Legends installed, but I'm not really a huge fan. I mean, it's enjoyable to watch, but in terms of gameplay, it's not really my bag. So expect more gameplay and sort of mini reviews or impressions, including maybe older games as well, to come onto the channel. Again, mainly due to lack of WoW content to comment on, but again, because I'm also playing less at the moment, because again, due to lack of content in WoW itself. The first 30 minutes I did of Pillars of Eternity, it might become a series. Undecided as yet. They're fun and quick to do, and gives you guys a quick impression of the start of each game that I might cover. It could lead on to other regular Let's Play coverage of certain games as well. Don't know, have a think about that. The other thing as well, as you'll have seen from the start of this video, I've also done a new intro and rebranded slightly. Again, big fan of the rebranding exercises. That's the long form intro. That's the longer version. I'll be making a quicker, shorter one later on. But I wanted to get the fuller one done first. Quite happy with the results, although I would have liked to do more with it. Again, as usual with me, iteration is going to be key there. But just keep an eye on the website. I'm posting fairly regularly there, a lot more regularly than I'm making videos, certainly. I'll probably be sticking up a further impressions review of Pillars of Eternity, because I've got about 6-7 hours into the game now, and really, really enjoying it. But I'll go into that in more detail in that video. That's just a quick update, letting you guys know where I am at the moment and what I'm doing at the moment. Keep an eye on the channel because there will be more videos coming. I know I promise that quite a lot, but I rarely follow through. I know, mea culpa. Hell, I might even throw some music up on the channel because I purchased FL Studio the other day. The intro jingle, as such, was made by me, as was the previous one. So I might get around to producing some music. Who knows. But anyway, that's me for now. Like I said, keep an eye out for the Pillars of Eternity sort of mini review impressions video. That's coming shortly. But until next time, cheerio.